So what do you call yourself? Welcome to the LaTangela Show. Hey.
Hey, what can I do for you this fine day?
This is your destiny. Hot, hot, hot. Right now.
Welcome to the LaTangela Show. Come on in and enjoy yourself.
Right now.
We gon' party like no one else. Welcome to the LaTangela Show. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning,
Good
sunshine.
morning.
How are you?
Pretty good. How are you?
Marvelous, darling. Thank you so much for taking time out of your schedule. I know that you have been busy. There's never a dull moment, and I have questions that need answers.
Let's get to them. There's never a dull moment in cybersecurity. I can definitely tell you that.
You know, we never really think about it, but we spend the majority of our days tapping on these devices, giving these devices so much information, and smartphones have found a way to dumb us down collectively. Now, as a Google CyberSecurity expert, what are some of the things that come across your desk? Like, what's your day-to-day operation?
So my desk specifically, we focus on attacks against Google and attacks against our users. So a lot of what I deal with and my team deal with is protecting Google at large and our users at large. So all people's Gmail accounts, people's online accounts, people's search. So yeah, it's quite the interesting job. And like you said before, never a dull moment.
Right. Is this something that you've always been interested in, or did you just kind of fall into it?
It is something I have always been interested in. As a matter of fact, when I got my first computer in 7th grade, and my parents wouldn't let me have a modem at that time when you'd have to dial up over the phone.
Oh yeah,
because
that
they were
AOL,
afraid
you
they'd
got
watch
mail and do.
even before AOL, even well before
Wow.
AOL. And they wouldn't let me have a modem because they were afraid they'd watch that movie War Games, and they were afraid I'd try to like hack the Pentagon or something like that. So we would, but it's something I've always been interested in, and I've been at Google for like 17 years and done a lot of work in security as well as general technical needs.
I love it. Tell them, look, we're not trying to hack the Pentagon. We're trying to protect it. That's
Exactly.
all. You know, and you've been in this industry for quite some time. And I know that October is actually recognized as the month to say that cybersecurity is a thing. We usually are on these devices and we don't think about it. But if someone were to hack into our device today, what are some of the details that you've seen that they could easily just swipe us for?
Oh, people's pictures, people's personal information. As we live on I know I do, and my daughters definitely do. They're both in college. We live on our devices. Our entire life, in many cases, is on our devices. So pictures, emails, phone numbers, and in many cases, those phone numbers they can then use to try to attack other people. Phone numbers, billing information, credit cards, you name it. It's now on your phone. So it's extremely important to use a unique and strong passcode on your phone. And if you have multiple phones, like some people do, to use different passcodes for them, so that if one gets, if they figure out one, they don't have the whole kit and caboodle of your life.
Michael, that's real good. You mentioned a lot about the credit card information, the billing information. We're entering into the holiday season where everybody is just swiping and going and just www.shopping and going. A lot of people are actually waiting on this time of year, not just for the great deals, but for the great steals. So what are some of the ways that we can really just avoid that, get ahead of the curve and not be victimized by setting ourselves up?
Absolutely. I think the first thing to think about is if it's too good to be true. If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is.
It probably is.
Holiday season is peak for scams. So if you start getting emails, 90% off this, just click this link. Don't click the link.
Oh, it's
Be
a
very,
suspicious
very
link.
suspicious of the link. Google blocks about 99%. We block 100 million spam emails a day.
Wait, what?
Yes.
So that many people are sitting there spamming and phishing and doing the most.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's important to, if you're not sure of the link, whether it comes via text, email, even phone calls now. So it's not a link, but people will call up and say they're the IRS or a number of things. Don't necessarily take the bait. Call the business. If it's your bank saying, hey, please just give us this information, give us your password, give us your social
I've
security
had several
number.
of those.
Yeah, don't do it. Make sure that you call your bank back with a known phone number or go to their website
Yeah.
to validate that it's something they need.
And
I
it's
have
funny that you
recently got,
mentioned that. I've had a text message come through. Hey, this is your bank. Give us a call. So, you give them a call and someone to pick up. Hi, what's your name? What's my name? You called me. So while they're on the
yeah,
line, I'm calling my bank and I say, hold on a second, just give me 1 minute. Let me find that information for you. So I clicked them over on three-way and I said, hi, I just want to know if you have someone on the line calling, and they just hung up. They hung up, and when I tried to dial the number back, it went to some suspicious, we are unavailable 800 number. And I'm like, wow, how many people really fall victim to that though?
and
Especially if you're calling our senior citizens and they're thinking that this is something that's pressing. And if I don't give you this information, my lights are going to get cut off or my credit will be messed up, and it's unfortunate that they find these targets. Who do you find in your line of work has been the most vulnerable that we should look out for the most?
I'd say the most vulnerable, as you mentioned, is senior citizens and also younger children. A lot of children now have phones at younger ages,
Mm,
and they don't know necessarily the protocol and are generally not as suspicious as kind of middle-aged adults are. So those two groups I find are the most vulnerable, but I think it can happen to anybody with the right pressure applied to them.
yeah.
People will jump at, oh, I just want to fix this problem. I need to resolve this bill. I need to do this. I need to do that.
Yeah.
So, again, if you're not sure of what you're getting, say, I need to call you back, and then call and find the real phone number and call them back. Especially with my mom recently just got one from the IRS, and they said they were going to freeze her account and all of these things. And she said, no, I'll call back. Thank you. And she just hung up.
I'll call you. Don't call us. We'll call you. I had a
Exactly.
call a couple of months ago say, yeah, if you don't give us the information we need, we're going to have to ban your social security number. And I'm like, wait, do I get a new one? Does that come with a new credit score? Let's talk about this. We can negotiate at this point,
Yeah.
and it's like levels and layers. And I appreciate the fact that Google cybersecurity team, they really do their part to block it. They really do their part to protect the users, because we are on your service. We are on your servers. We are leaning towards you because you all are the gateway to so much. And to know that you think enough of us to say we have to protect those who are the most vulnerable, or even if they're shopping or if they're looking for information, we don't want you to be victim. But you also take it a step further to have these conversations to let us know, hey, look, we're doing our part, but these are some of the things that you should look out for as well. If you had to leave, um, I would say your level of expertise, just as a wrap up. Hey, look, today while you're on the internet, these are some of the to-dos or don'ts.
Yes. I'd say the first to do is make sure you're using a password manager.
Okay.
Especially when you're shopping and you're going to new websites that you're shopping on, you might set up new accounts. Make sure you're setting up strong and different passwords per site and storing them in a password manager. And if you
Okay.
use Google Chrome, it'll do that for you automatically. And then you can access your passwords later on at passwords.google.com. And it makes your life nice and easy. It will autofill the passwords on the correct URL, because a lot of sites will pretend to be another site. Scam sites will pretend to be another site. And if you don't see that pop up, then wait, something's not right here. So that's probably the biggest piece of advice. And when you're online, be suspicious of, if it looks too good to be true, it probably is.
It probably is. Like Sinno, I want you to think of this as an extension of your office. I appreciate you so much. This is your first field trip to the madhouse. Just promise that it will not be your last.
Absolutely. I would love to come back on.
Please do. You just say the word, jump in the hot seat on the tan line, and you can email me because I know on my Gmail it's coming through on a secure account.
Absolutely.
I got it. Now, if we want to keep up with more information on the month, being that we are being more attentive in this season, where could we find more of these tips?
Yeah, you can find these tips and a lot more on safety.google. It'll cover a broad range of security topics, from how to set up your Gmail to how to set up your password manager within Google products.
Good. Thank you so much. And I look forward to talking to you soon.
Me too. Have a great day.
You too. Bye-bye.